So what's more dire at the moment? My own sickness or or her sickness? They're very close together anyway. Now, let's talk to, well, what's more important at the moment? Well, I'm still happily walking around, casting spells, shooting arrows, getting shot. She is in bed, not all that healthy. Mature. So let's talk to Alfred first, and then find the strongbox in the water and the what's it called? And well, Panther's house. You, Alfred.
Who are you?
Yeah, I'm a traveler. You're Alfred, right? The childhood friend of a man named Yarrow?
Yarrow. This is about his death, isn't it? The rampage.
I wouldn't really call it a rampage, more a... I mean, a rampage is more something that where you kill a ton of people while swinging an axe around or something. This is more a... bomb. So you've heard about it? Ought not to.
Of course, who hasn't? Yarrow was one of us, after all. It is... terrible. Simply terrible. You want to hear an old man's opinion, though?
Yeah.
I always expected that something like this would happen. Malthus, forgive
Really?
me for talking about a keeper like that, but it's the truth.
You saw it coming. How?
Hard to explain, really. Come on, let's find somewhere to sit. It'll be easier to talk that way.
Let's... Okay. That's not very far.
Well, Yarrow. That's quite a subject, you know.
I don't know.
You were right when you said we were best friends. Our fathers knew each other. For as long as I can remember, Yarrow and I were getting into trouble together. At least, until his mother died.
Not of old age, then.
No. Bandits killed her in broad daylight on Penny Road. Today these incidents are common, but not back then. The road was considered safe. Very safe. She was on her way to Ark, accompanied by 3 other women, and they were set upon at the pass. None of them survived. Yarrow was shattered. I think the worst part was how his father went downhill after his wife's death. The fishery decayed, and the poor guy filled his days with boozing and sleeping. It changed Yarrow forever.
How did it change him, then?
Well, that's a good question. On the one hand, he became a man, despite his tender age.
Yeah, that
On
happens.
the other hand, something inside him woke up, so to speak. A desire to make more of his life.
Blowing yourself up doesn't fit with that.
Angelica noticed it and took him under her wing. He learned how to read and write, and soon he knew all the holy verses by heart. When he didn't have to help his drunken father, he helped in the village as much as he could.
I wouldn't say that. Yeah, transformed his grief into productivity. Sounds like a rather positive development. No. It's hiding it. It's hiding it, and, well, it's changing, and I'm not against change, but I am, let's say, wary of fast change.
Indeed, that's one way to look at it. It wasn't long before he was the jewel of the village, the striving young fisherman destined for great things, even though he was only on the path of a manufacturer. And then the inevitable happened. a keeper of the Order came to Riverville to see the prodigy with his own eyes. And behold, in addition to Yarrow's ingenuity, he also had a slumbering magical talent. The keeper took him away, and a few months later, he started his novitiate. Since then, I've only seen him once or twice, as he rarely visited Riverville. I don't think he ever noticed how much that hurt me.
Is it now uncommon for someone in the manufacturer part to get a chance to become a keeper? I mean, do they really want mages among the manufacturers? I mean, nothing against the manufacturers, but, well, I think a magical mage's talent is kind of wasted there, isn't it?
If one of the manufacturers makes it to Sergeant of the Guard, it's reason enough for a bard song. He must have been the first novice in centuries who was not of the sublime path. So yes, it is uncommon. More than that.
But it doesn't quite explain why you suspected that something like this would happen, now does it?
Oh, it's hard to explain. I believe it was the way he was talking about his grand plans. How he wanted to make the world a better place, to become the greatest keeper since Loram Waterblade. Underneath all this there was an anger. An anger mixed with deep grief and disappointment.
Like I said,
don't think he was
hiding it.
Because he drew all his strength from that anger. The strength to do all this, to learn and to work day and night, but it frightened me, like the Blue Death. It slumbers inside the pathless mage who believes he can master magic without the Order's help.
I'm doing a fine job.
It grants power, but then, one day, it bursts out in an unholy wave of destruction, turning him into one of the monsters in the old songs.
Oh. Might need to see the order for that.
Anyway, I'm just an old man. What do I know about these matters? Now let me go to sleep. All these memories are making me weary.
You probably know a lot, though. I mean, you have survived for a long time. Yeah, you can learn a lot from learning, but experience can also do quite a lot. Well, thanks for your help. This at least gets me some idea who Yarrow was, and, well, maybe some more.
Yes, of course.
So, where am I supposed to meet Jasper then? This house. So, let's first find an inn. Maybe to kill that guy and then go Waltersworth. Yeah, the situation of the wife worsens by the minute, but, well, I'm getting older by the minute as well, so worsening doesn't mean a lot on its own. Is there an inn somewhere? Kuro's General Store. Yeah, it's not an inn, but, well, might have something useful. Nice gargoyle.
Oh, hello. I haven't seen you around here before. Just take a look around and tell me if you see anything you like.
Sure.
Oh, a bit of this and that. Feel free to take a look.
Alright, iron sword, no. Some potions, which I do need some health potions, but I think I'll just try and make them. And scrolls, well, they're still hugely expensive. Most books. Ooh. Ulfudrin the Wanderer, Ash Willows, Blind Manors, the Gargantuan Lizard, Steel Warden, I really do want to read all these, but I can't afford a single one of them at the moment. An axe. Okay. Anything interesting here? 2 flutes. One more expensive than the other. A drum. You can start a music band here. Ooh, lockpicks. Sounds pretty useful, but let's not pay for it. Anything I have that I want to sell? I made this, so that can go, and that can go. And otherwise, no, not really anything I want to sell. You can have the empty bottle, doesn't seem to have to use. Hammer, no. No, the rest I want to keep. Sorry. So where do you get your wares?
That depends. Some I get from adventurers, some from other merchants, and some I gather myself in old ruins and the like. Or should I say, gathered. Nowadays, you can't even set foot to a deserted house without getting eaten by lost ones. What sad times we're living in.
Yeah, not quite perfect, is it?
Luck blessed.
Thanks. Now let's find a
Yes?
bloody inn.
Oh, you're not from around here, are you? I know that accent.
Yeah? What do you want?
Nothing.
Walk blessed.
Any news?
Aye, many and hardly any good ones. The streets are swarming with highwaymen and brigands these days, more than I've seen in all the years I've served now. What's happening to this world, I wonder? Seems everyone is eager to go at each other's throats. It's a shame.
Oh. Can I go into the temple? I can. Now let's see if I survive.
Walk blessed.
Hey, farmer.
Miramise, aren't you? What a pleasure.
Was that sarcastic? Because I can very sarcastically punch you in the face too.
Huh? Wait, I think I know you.
Yeah,
You work for
bloody
the
hell.
Order, don't you? Why are those wild mages up in the temple? Malthus, forgive my doubts, but why would the Grandmaster side with heretics? It just doesn't add up.
Song test. Cronus 1. O Malthus, how we praise thee. Without the path, where would we be? We chair, exalt, and elaborate, and thus all great we abnegate. Verse 1. Once I was straying through nothingness, was lost and all alone, but then I saw thy light and path, and so my spirits home. Verse 2. O my fellow, we praise thee, without the path where would we be? We cheer, exalt, and celebrate, and thus we all greet, we abnegate. My mind was suddenly unchained, my spirit it's gently freed. My path since then has never erred. This song is in my creed. Oh man, blah blah blah. Church rituals, nothing for me. A path. Oh. Tome 12. Good God. A star summer night. Tome 12. The star summer night. Verse. Alright, X is 10, C is 100. Verse 90? Yeah, should be verse. Yeah. Verse 90. Strength and full of trust in Malthus, the vessels from the Underlands originated, progressed from these trying times of constitution and treason, on construction and treason. The city underneath the sun, temple grew and became more significant day by day. Its inhabitant doubled in arc, the city that would exist eternally, guarded by Lord Malthus for all time. Now I suspect that Ark will be destroyed. 92. And the land surrounding Ark, vitalized by the holy water of Araxes, endowed the people's crops with such yield as they had never seen before. Forgotten were the times of famine and deprivation, for bread and fruits covered the tables of all, from the temple to the simplest home at the edge of the city. From this time on, the seventh moon of a year would be called First Harvest. 93. The Vestals gave thanks to Malthus for his gift and hosted a great feast in his honor at the foot of the Sun Temple. That is when the Lightborn spoke through Selna's voice for the last time. Now you have subjugated this land, it has become your home, and the thread which binds the future of Enderal lays in your hands. However, know that you will remain under my protection if you continue to abide upon the path, and even if I may not be in front of your eyes, I always live by my virtue. Yeah, and she's dead now. After these words of the Lightborn, Selna spoke to the vessels with her own voice. Return to this place in the moon and bring your families with you, so that we can all gather to the last person. We shall pray collectively to honor Malthus and reassure him of our faith. That sounds like a murder pact or something. Or suicide pact, or I don't know, child sacrifice pact. 95. Selma began preparing the ceremony and assembled those who built the Holy Order with her. She held her son in her arms and spoke to the keeper. Look, this is my son. He will become first Grand Master of the Order according to Malthus' will, and he shall, once the time is right, designate his successor. He is still but an infant, and I will teach him everything a path-abiding Eldrin should learn. The first story he will hear will be those of our journey to this land. He shall write those down and give them to the Chronicum, once he has mastered writing, so that the Holy Opus may be publicated for all Eldorans. The holy writing will be titled The Path, and so I baptize my son, the first Grand Master of the Holy Order, Dargis the Scribe. Verse 96. Selna now assembled the keepers every day, and recited the words which would be recorded by her son, and would become known as the Path. And so it came to pass that all the members of the order were able to recite the words in their entirety, and this would continue until the end of time. The scribes of the Chronicum began to create laws based on the wisdom in Malthus' words, and set down parables which were to serve the Eldorans as examples of how to live a path-abiding life. These writings were distributed across the land to spread the words of the Lightborn's wisdom even to those who lived far away from the temple and ark. Yet none of these scribbles wrote down even a single word. Not one of the scribes wrote down even a single word of the path, for that was reversed for Dargis, the Grand Master, once he had learned the written word. Verse 97. Bloody hell. And Selna, the first Trucessa, anticipated that the number of those who wanted to join the Holy Order would be large, yet only a few of them would be chosen. She decreed for a long period of apprenticeship would be finalized, with a strict and difficult test of spirit to pick only the best and most loyal from among all the novices who wanted to become keepers. 98. During the warmest part of the summer, the great ceremony to honor Malthus was finally held, during which Eldorans swore their eternal faith. The temple was decorated with banners depicting the sun eye, which symbolized the light and wisdom that Malthus admits, and a snake could be seen what was formed into a circle, symbolizing the beginning and the end, for Malthus united both in himself. Verse 99. All of Elmsren appeared and gathered in front of the temple. The firmament was lit with wild red starfire, and so the eighth moon, which ended the year with its festivity, was called Star Summer Night. The society of path-abiding ones recited with a single tremendous voice the holy words which Selna had spoken, and which shall honor the light-born Malthus until the end of time. Verse 100. Thou art my light, my glimmer at the horizon. Thy name is my sacrament, and thy path I will honor, in life as in death. 101. May your path guide me. Good God, that was a lot of words.
Well,
this.
best, my child. How may I help you?
Anything interesting?
Well, I suppose that depends on what you deem as interesting. I am certain you've heard about the tragic events in Ark.
Yeah.
Apparently the Magister who murdered those children was from Riverville himself. And
You
then
didn't
there's
know
his
that.
wife. She's been sick for moons now, and even I cannot help her. Dreadful times are these, truly. I wish I could do more.
I'm doing more than you are. And I don't even know the place, know where to find things. Yeah, you're not helping all that much. I'm hurt, can you heal?
Let me see. Yes, that is no injury light magic couldn't heal. Malthus bless this body, rid it of its afflictions and endow it with life, path abidingness and new strength. May your light guide this soul.
Okay, so that cures diseases. You're basically the shrines. Okay, so where are these mages that... Oh.
Walk blessed.
So these are the Lightborn. Look pretty cool, although why do you have a chain in hand? That's normally not a good sign. I mean, sword, sure, but a chain? I mean, I know that holy people within Christianity, I have no idea how... When you start doing Let's Plays, you find out that you don't know so... I mean, you know a lot of words in English and you can form perfect English sentences, but there are so many words you also don't know and can't figure out in a heartbeat. But yeah, they are also very oftenly, Jesus Christ, depicted with weapons. But that's because those are often the weapons they were murdered with, not the weapons they used. So she has something to drink and I guess eat? I don't know what she's doing. She's probably healing and... Yeah, this is the same one as that one and... Oh, well, there was another one over there.
Hello.
Hi. So... The Church of... what was it called? Riverville? Riverville. Where we learned quite a bit more about the religion that runs here. Something that's always good to know wherever you are. It's always a good idea to know what and who you're dealing with and what they believe in. And, as I probably said a lot of times before, don't go against people's religion, people. If it helps someone, if it doesn't harm someone, how can it be a bad thing?